provide free of charge mineral fertilizers to destitute countries. Out of 262,000 of tons of such fertilizers, we managed to send only 2 batches, 20,000 tons to Malawi and 34,000 of Kenyans.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from whenever you're watching this channel. I'd like to start by appreciating you so much for making this channel grow. If you wish to support us, just subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. So there is this ongoing conference that was taking place in Russia, something that is similar to the US-Africa Head of State Summit that took place early this year. So Russia counterpart of Biden, that is talking about Putin, decided to organize a Russia-Africa summit that is akin to what happened in the US. So this, there have been this war between US and Russia on the scramble for Africa. Initially, it was US and China on the scramble for Africa. So now that Russia and China are on one side, both of them pushing for the BRICS currency, the war seems to have taken a different level, with Putin making a lot of inroads in Africa and managing to even secure the attention of Uganda. So the presidents who went to Russia and for that meeting, who honored the meeting, but you understand that William Ruto did not attend that meeting, probably because William Ruto is pro-Western, whereas these other countries like South Africa, a country like Uganda, they've been trying to go east as opposed to west. So the reason why I chose to bring this analysis, despite the fact that I know there are so many people who have done their own analysis on something akin to this. Russia President Vladimir Putin, in a almost 1.5, almost 2 hours press statement, decided to unleash something that caught so many people by surprise. And this is about the metric tons, almost 35,000 metric tons which were sent here to Kenya, the fertilizer. You understand that? This is what has taken so many people by shock as to why Putin chose to release a statement at a time when William Ruto was giving out a statement on the reduction of fertilizer prices from 30,500 to 2,500 is one thing that he'll shake out by surprise. I want to take you back to last year after election, and there was talk about EU, fertilizers that were donated to Kenya and other countries like Uganda to caution them against the skyrocketing high cost of living. So that time it was alleged, it was still just an allegation. Nobody had enough, evidence to justify the allegations. So they were just mere allegations that fertilizer was donated to Kenya and other countries in Africa to caution them against the high cost of living. Mind you, you know that Russia and Ukraine are still engulfed in that war that has taken more than 1 year now. So that war, according to propagandists, they've been saying that is the reason why high cost of living in particular, because you understand that the high supply of wheat in Ukraine, now Ukraine could not make those deliveries, and Russia was also banned from the international market by US and the UN, and there was this kind of so those things, all of them seems to be the reasons why the Western propagandists are insinuating that the war is why we are in this mess. The war is the reason why unga iko juu. The war is the reason why mchele iko juu, and not other things zimeenda juu. The war in Russia. So I think that's the reason why Vladimir Putin decided now, let me just clean my name because these people are peddling rumors in Africa. Ati mimi ndo nimesababisha vitu zi. So Putin decided to donate fertilizer. That's according to him, you know. And I have a video where Putin is making those declarations that one of the countries that was given free fertilizer ni Kenya.
Russia exported grain to Africa in 2022, 11.5 million tons. And it was possible, even despite the illegitimate sanctions imposed against our export, that significantly impede the supplies of Russian food. They make transport, logistics, and insurance, as well as Western countries, get in the way of our grain and fertilizer supplies. Impediments were made for us to provide free of charge mineral fertilizers to destitute countries. Out of 262,000 of tons of such fertilizers, we managed to send only 2 batches, 20,000 tons to Malawi and 34,000 of Kenyans.
35,000 metric tons were delivered to Kenya, free. I want to take you back to last year again, because there was this issue of subsidy on fertilizer. When the Kenya Kwanza regime took advantage to propagate another propaganda campaign that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta alipandisha fertilizer to almost 7,000, whereas hawa wamekuja wakashukisha fertilizer to 3,500. But then that is the time kutokea allegation kwamba si kulikuwa na free fertilizer, mbona hii imekuwa hivi, no? Mbona imekuwa hivi, mbona imekuwa vile. So that narrative, and later on there were people saying that ngojeni mtaona fertilizer scandal. Fertilizer scandal. So after listening to what Putin said, would you say that this is a fertilizer scandal? Are you convinced that the government donated fertilizer to farmers? Would you say so? I mean, the words in that video whereby Putin is laying bare those allegations, those are not my words, ladies and gentlemen. It is a word from the horse's mouth. Putin himself has said it. You can't say this is a propaganda anymore. But the facts are there. That video has already indicated to you that indeed there was free fertilizer. And this free fertilizer could have been given to Kenya. But the problem is, why did Putin decide to choose to expose this regime of Kenya Kwanza that much? Why do you think he did that? I think the main reason here is this: Russia also has a plan here in Africa, and you understand that because Russia has a plan in Africa, Russia would want to protect the interests of Russia, and Kenya has not been on a good side with Russia because they didn't even go to this meeting. So that because they did go to the meeting that was convened by Russia, whereas Russia donated 35,000 metric tons of fertilizer to Kenya, Putin felt betrayed. He felt less appreciated. His efforts were less appreciated. The countries that received that aid, some of them went to honor that summit because they're saying that there's a free country. They cannot be told who not to talk to and who to talk to. You understand that Uganda has been at loggerheads with the US lately over that LGBTQ bill because Uganda has been telling the Biden-led administration to respect the Africans and know that Africans have a choice. They can decide who to interact with, and they Museveni kept telling Biden that we are in a post-colonial era, and being that we are in a post-colonial era, we have the right to make our own decisions. We have the right to choose the friends to associate with. We can associate with you. We can associate with Russia. We can associate with the Chinese. We are free. So I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, here that the truth of the matter is that this move that the Russia has taken, this move will see US lose in Africa. Now that's the reality. Because just take a look at this. If South Africa is fully behind Russia-Chinese friendship. Uganda is joining. I understand Morocco is also following suit. There are number of countries, including Algeria here in Africa, who want to work with the Putin. So what does this mean? Is Kenya going to feel? Kenya going to be isolated? Is that going to be the case? I don't know. I'm just saying these things can come, to the limelight sometimes later on. But are we finding ourselves in a scenario whereby now, in fact, even in the subsequent donations, we might have to lose out or miss out? Because if Russia says they gave number of tons to EU market so that EU can coordinate these deliveries, and it goes specifically to say that Kenya received 35,000 metric tons. What does that mean? Does it mean that the government donated fertilizer to farmers? Could that be the case? And if these farmers are being given donated fertilizer, then where is this money going to? Ladies and gentlemen, I rest my case there. But I think if I looked at, or if I can interpret the words from Putin, I can comfortably say that Putin felt betrayed by this regime. He felt betrayed. No, that's the reality. He felt betrayed by the fact that he assisted some countries here in Africa, but these countries are refusing to honor his invitation, Kenya being one of them. So, ladies and gentlemen, kindly give us a comment below the comment section. And also, I'd like to urge you to kindly subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed before. For those who subscribed before, I'd like to express my appreciation to that. I'm so grateful forever for you being my worthy subscriber of YOLENO TV. And also, I'd like to urge you to give this video a like. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. It's very important so that every time we upload any video, you will always become the first person to get notified. Ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, stay blessed until we catch up again in our next analysis.